One of the most important things that guitarists tend to overlook when trying to improve their soloing is rhythm. Just because you're playing single notes doesn't mean you're not using rhythm. Today we're going to look at several ideas to help improve your soloing through creative use of rhythm. By the end of this video, you'll have several creative rhythmic approaches you can implement in your soloing. In my 30+ years of teaching, these are things I have helped my students use in order to immediately change their soloing into something much more interesting and enjoyable. By the way, if you're just getting started with soloing, make sure to download my free beginner soloist handbook that I've put together. It's packed with all sorts of scales and arpeggios and reference materials so that you have it all in one place. The link is in the description below. Let's look at everything we're doing today in A minor. We're going to use the A minor pentatonic scale, but if we've been recycling the same patterns, licks, and phrases and hope to change things up rhythmically, let's not use the same old, same old. Now that would be the standard shape that so many players learned first. This standard pentatonic like this. Let's not use that one. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, but let's use the diagonal pentatonic for a breath of fresh air and a different approach to our phrasing. The diagonal minor pentatonic begins with 2 notes, with the root being the second note of the shape. Then you play 3 notes on the next string, and that's it. A very simple yet effective scale that includes all 5 notes in the minor pentatonic with this easy 2-note, 3-note pattern. It looks like this. So on the 6th string, my root's going to be this A here, but I'm going to put my ring finger there because I want my index finger to go down a whole step below it to the 3rd fret. So I play these 2 notes, then I move to the 5th string and I play these 3 notes, 3rd fret, 5th fret, and 7th fret. That's all 5 notes of the minor pentatonic scale. And we're calling it the diagonal minor pentatonic because it moves across the fretboard like this. It's very easy to use this diagonal minor pentatonic and place the octaves across the fretboard. That would look like this. We begin with the one we just learned. Then you play the exact same shape starting on the 4th string. So 2 notes here, and then 3 notes on the 3rd string. Once again. Now I adjust for the tuning difference on the B string and go up to this fret here, the 8th fret in this case, and play the exact same shape again. So 2 notes followed by 3 notes. And all in that little shape right there, I have all 5 notes of the minor pentatonic. Here are those 3 octaves. All too often when we solo, our rhythm doesn't really develop creatively because we try to use the entire scale shape and end up sounding far too scalar. When I use the whole scale shape like that, it has a rhythm, but it's quite boring and not going to make anyone want to listen for very long. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to focus on just 5 fret positions at once and no more. Maybe we'll throw an extra note in there here or there, but by limiting our focus, we're going to be able to think about the rhythm much more and be a little bit more creative with it. Number 1, try muting some notes to create an interesting rhythmic idea. Something like this. As you can hear, giving that little muted intro helps me develop a motif or a repeating musical idea, and then I can take that on to other places. But it breaks me out of the scalar approach and is highly focused on something rhythmic. Any ideas like that will break you out of a scalar approach. Number 2, try playing a lick that imitates the groove or rhythm of the song you're playing over. Now as you can hear, I play played some of the same notes, but I also played some of the similar rhythm of the song. I didn't play it exactly the same, but enough to make it interesting and give me some ideas of how to develop a fun phrase with it. Number 3, try a pedal point idea. Pedal points are where you have a repeating note with other descending or ascending notes in between. You might think of this as a lick, and it can be, but it can also be a creative melodic device. If you haven't tried it, it can really open up some new possibilities. So that can be a really interesting approach, and it will yield something different for everyone. Number 4, add a blue note. Now the blue note in a minor pentatonic is going to be known as the flat 5. And in our little pentatonic here, if I just play that octave, it's found right here on the 11th fret. So if I play it all together, adding a blue note will many times cause you to swing your rhythm or at least change it up a bit because you don't want to sit on that blue note for too long or the dissonance won't work. But it's a great way to spur some creative ideas. Number 5, try some double stops. A double stop is when I play 2 notes at once, and in pentatonics you certainly have a chance to try a bunch of double stops. Depending on the track you're playing over, some will work and some won't, but there is no doubt that using double stops will force you to create something rhythmically different from what you were playing with single notes. As you could hear, I had to experiment and see what worked with this track, but I managed to find something that was fine. I think a more upbeat track would yield even more rhythmic ideas for your double stops, like a funk track or something bluesy and up-tempo. All of these ideas are about pushing yourself to try new rhythmic approaches and to realize that your soloing is so much more than just running up and down a scale. And keep in mind, regardless which scale you are using, if you are sounding scalar, stop using the entire scale and just focus on a small part of it like we did today. It makes you more melodic, rhythmic, and interesting. I recently made a video lesson about limiting what you play and how that can be a real game changer for guitarists looking to become more melodic. You can watch that video next, right here.